If someone would have told baby entrepreneur Ashley that five-figure launches were going to be her new normal, I would have never believed them. But truly, because of Airtable, that's what's happening. In this video, I'm going to show you how Airtable has helped me have my biggest group program launches ever. If you're nosy like me and you love a behind the scenes, stick around. My name's Ashley, and I'm an Airtable and automation expert that helps coaches organize and automate the back-end operations of their 6- and 7-figure group offers. I've helped countless entrepreneurs use Airtable to improve their student experience, make data-driven decisions, and have their biggest launches yet without burning out their teams. My last 3 group program launches were $46,000, $19,000, and $52,000. And I am not exaggerating when I say that Airtable really is one of the biggest reasons I was able to have such big launches. So by the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how Airtable helps me do all of that. So let's get into it. So the first way that Airtable has helped me have my biggest launches ever is that it just holds all of the past data about my launches, which helps inform the success of the future of my launches. That might sound really basic, but before Airtable, I was keeping spreadsheets, I was keeping Google Docs of just like my launch numbers and a Google Doc recap of what I would do differently, what I would do next time, what I really loved about this launch. And that would just totally gather dust in my Google Drive, get lost. I just wouldn't find them and I would totally forget about them when I was planning the next launch. Now that I manage everything inside of Airtable, including my launch recaps, when I'm planning the next launch, I'm able to easily reference the launches before so I don't make the same mistakes and I'm able to improve upon my launches from one launch to the next. So a great example of this is literally inside of our launch hub in Airtable. So we have a whole Airtable database focused on just our launches. We have our launch recaps for each launch. So after every launch, we write down things that went well, things we do differently, and ideas for next time. I am able to easily reference that when I'm planning the next launch. So in my June 2022 launch, I'm looking at it right now. We said things that went well. Focusing on email was good. Emails really worked for us. And we even got explicit as to say these explicit subject lines with this type of call to action really performed well. In our upcoming launches, when I was feeling afraid of putting such like explicit like doors are closing in all caps in my subject lines, I was reminded, hey, that really worked last time. So I was using past data to inform our launch, which just helped us build upon one launch to the next. A big thing that we said in June 2022, which absolutely changed the way we launched forever, is I wrote down, we're never doing cart close at midnight ever again. Why do we do this? I knew for us that a 7 p.m. Pacific close time would work well for me and for my schedule and for my mental health. I didn't want to be checking notifications until midnight of cart close. And so just remembering and referencing our past launch data really helped us inform and just fine tune and tweak from one launch to the next. So if you're planning your next launch and you remember that launch recap you wrote down somewhere in your Google Drive, I really encourage you to start to write those in Airtable so that they're all centralized in one spot. And if you're curious about what else you would put in your Launch Hub outside of your recaps, I want you to sign up for our free masterclass, the 3 Airtable systems you need before your next 6-figure group program launch. I go into all of the things I'm sharing here and more in depth, lots of Airtable screen shares, so you can really see what this will look like. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and sign up for that. The link is in the description below. So in this last launch, one of the biggest reasons why it was our most successful launch yet, a $52,000 launch, which is just amazing, is that I was able to write and delegate all of my launch content in one go. So we had actually never done that for a launch before, but because we had our Airtable systems and we're kind of always refining and tweaking, we were able to, with just so much ease, I was able to write, we sent 65 emails during this launch. I was able to write all of those in a weekend. And I was able to easily delegate that to my team so they could schedule it, so they could post it, just made delegating so easy because we had a really centralized, organized source of truth inside of Airtable. It wasn't a 100-page Google Doc that had, missing subject lines, or it was just really easy for me to literally just hand it off to my team to be able to take it and run with it. I know it sounds like a lot, but that was actually something that was so helpful for me, was to hand off all of the emails in one go so the team could delegate and they could schedule it all in one go. Of course, with these Airtable systems, I could have written the emails, 3 days before and then hand it off to them and had a really easy system of like, this status says like it's still in draft mode. This status says it's ready to go. But we actually, one of the reasons I think we had such a big launch is because I was able to just get out of my head, sit down, write all the things, and hand it off. So many times in my past launches, which, they've done well, a 20K launch, a 40K launch, they were great. But I would get in my head, or I would feel like I didn't have the energy the day before the email was supposed to go out, or, thinking, oh, I'm sending too many emails. And I would just really be in my head. But when I decided, nope, I'm just going to write all of these emails and delegate it to my team and give them the Airtable systems to schedule all of that, then it was really helpful I could focus on other parts of the launch. And that was huge. So I actually showed y'all what that looks like in our how to launch a group coaching program with Airtable, and that's in another video. But yeah, that was huge for us, was to be able to write and delegate all of the launch content in one go. And I didn't have to bother my team and ask like, was that scheduled? What's going on? Because they were able to keep the statuses updated inside of our launch hub to say, this is in process, this is scheduled, this has been sent. So keeping all of that in one place was huge for us and was absolutely the reason this last launch was our biggest launch yet. Another huge reason that our last launch was our biggest launch yet is we had an incredible pay in full bonus that could not have been delivered without Airtable. So our last pay in full bonus for our group program Systems Over Stress was a done for you Airtable setup. So our program is $2,000, which is already an amazing value, but we wanted to see what could we really do to like sweeten the deal in this live launch for our students. And we knew that, our program teaches you how to set up Airtable, but it's really nice when you can just have that set up for you. So we have a sales hub, and what that sales hub is, it's an Airtable base that automatically syncs in all of your sales across your business. So you can easily keep track of, your client lifetime value, how your offers are performing, all of those things. That's how we're able to get a lot of our launch numbers like down to the penny, like how we're doing. But we knew, okay, this often takes our students a little while to set up, a couple hours to set up. Maybe they have some questions. Like it can feel heavy for them to set up just because there's a learning curve to Airtable. But we decided, our team can actually set these up so quickly. What if we just did this for our students on their behalf? So that's what we tried. This last launch, our pay in full bonus was a done for you sales hub setup. And there was just so many people who had been on the fence for a lot of our launches that once they saw that, they were like, are you kidding me? Like, yes, I'm in. And there's no way I would have felt confident delivering such a high touch done for you bonus without our Airtable systems. We were able to seamlessly set up automations to say, when someone joins the program during these certain dates and they've paid in full, send them an automation from Airtable saying, hey, you've got a pay in full bonus. Like, here's what you need to do. They would get sent an Airtable form where they would fill out all of their details. All of their next steps were automated. And there's no way we could have delivered such a high touch bonus. And my team was able to execute. They did over 35 by now. They've done those done for you setups. Absolutely no way we would have felt confident doing that if we were managing all of that inside of spreadsheets, inside of our email. It just wouldn't have been possible. So Airtable and their amazing automations and the way that we're able to really streamline a lot of that delivery helped us have our biggest launch yet, because we were able to deliver such a high touch bonus without much manual effort on our part. So that was incredible. And literally that offer, that pay in full bonus, showed us that we were ready to become an agency. We had never really done for you. I had never had my team do done for you setups before, but because a lot of my team members have been through the program, they're becoming experts in this as well, and how I use Airtable and my philosophies, they were actually able to take what we teach in the program and run with it and set it up. And now we're becoming an agency. Like, we have a whole new revenue stream because our Airtable systems have shown us like we can streamline stuff and it can be really easy. So that was definitely one of the reasons why our last group program launch was our biggest yet, was because we had a really enticing pay in full bonus. But in reality, that bonus was not any more difficult for us to execute because of the automated systems that we had set up with Airtable. I also wanted to touch on how incredible our pay in full bonus was for getting actual pay in full sales. Before, we had played with other pay in full bonuses, and we have them documented in our launch recaps, what those pay in full bonuses were, because so many times we forget what our pay in full incentive was. Did we have a live launch incentive? We forget what we actually offered. So because our launch hub houses everything about our launches, we're able to see and kind of track the success of certain live launch pay in full bonuses. So in June of 2022, we had a $46,000 launch. That's great. We had 8 pay in full, so that's 16,000. So even though it was, a 46K launch, 16K of that came in 1 month, which is, your girl could never have thought or dreamed that this would be, the normal. So that happened. And then in January 2023, we had a $52,000 launch, which 46 to 52, definitely a jump, but it's not a huge difference. But what was huge was the amount of pay in fulls. We doubled our pay in fulls. So we had 26 students enroll, but we had 16 pay in fulls. So that's $32,000 versus 16. That made a huge difference in our monthly revenue, of course. And so that was really cool to see that, like, hey, this pay in full incentive, people really want it, and they're like willing to pay in full for it and get that offer. So that was really cool to see too. And there's no way we would have been able to kind of track those things so granularly if we didn't have our Airtable sales hub, our launch hub, our interfaces to really show that data to us. And finally, the last way Airtable has helped us have our best group program launches yet is that truly my team is not doing anything manually, really. We've automated almost every manual admin task with Airtable and with our automations. So there is no manually updating a spreadsheet. There's no manually generating reports. There's no manually updating spreadsheets. There's no manually sending contracts. There's no manually, onboarding people into our community platform or our course platform. We have automated all of that, and that has saved me and my team so much time, which makes us be able to launch faster. So that is another way Airtable has helped us continue to have our best group program launches ever, and will continue, because now it's turning into this well-oiled machine, right? So we can launch this January 2023 launch, this $52,000 launch. I decided to do this launch in December. I had like less than a 4-week turnaround to write the 60 emails, to make the webinar, to do all of these things. But because we have these systems, me and my team were like, okay, no problem. Like, let's just do a launch. And that is $52,000 that like we would not have been able to do, because that we would have felt like we needed way more time to plan, and we would have needed way more time to just get ready for a launch. And we weren't afraid of the success of the launch because we knew our systems could handle the growth. We could have 50 clients, we could have 100 clients, we could have 1,000 clients, and like our workload wouldn't increase too much, maybe in 1,000 clients, but our systems wouldn't break, right? So our systems would not break at any level of how the launch would go. So it felt really easy and joyful for us to be like, yeah, like let's try another launch. So that was really big for us. So just another way Airtable helps us continue to have great group program launches is feeling so confident that our systems can support us launching. They're not going to burn us out. They're going to take care of our students when they get in the doors, because I don't care how successful a launch is, how much money you make in a launch, if it's going to burn your team out and people aren't taken care of on the other side. So that's really, really big for us. And there are just so many ways that Airtable can help you have your biggest and best launches yet. We cover all of it inside of our free masterclass, the 3 Airtable systems you need before your next 6-figure group program launch. So we go through all of the things you need, every checklist before your next launch. So if you are launching soon and you also want to have some of your biggest group program launches ever, I really recommend checking out that masterclass, reaching out to us. I would absolutely love to hear from you and hear about your next launch. I am an open book when it comes to our launches. So if you have any other questions about our launches or how you can have your next great group program launch, feel free to drop any comments or questions below. And if you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. And don't forget to let us know in the comments if you have any questions about all things Airtable, all things launching, and we will see you in the next video.